Hi, my name is Pete Sixbey and I'm the conservator for the Historic Arkansas Museum. And I just wanted to show you a process that I'm doing right now. I'm doing the restoration, conservation of this mirror. And I'm oil gilding, which is the process of putting gold leaf on the decorative areas of the mirror. I've done, as you can see, the brighter part of the mirror is the new gold that's been put on. I've done this top edge, I've done these decorative balls at the top, this area here, and then these figures right here. And so what I thought I'd do today is work on this area over here. You can see where the original gold is missing on most of the parts, so you can't really see what's going on. It's really dull, really dark, not very exciting. So I just wanted to kind of explain the process. There's basically two different types of gilding. One is called oil gilding and the other is called water gilding. And usually on a mirror like this you have both gildings on the mirror because they give the mirror kind of a different look. Makes it more interesting. This is called water gilding. And it's basically a fine clay that's put on the decorative element, and then that clay has an adhesive, and when you wet it up, the gold sticks to that, and it's a really shiny finish. It's almost a mirror finish. And then areas like this, which are very intricate, a lot of decorative elements going on, there's not really a lot of smooth areas. It's really hard to do water gilding on this type of surface, and so they do oil gilding, which basically is a material called size. So you basically brush the size on. It kind of acts as an adhesive, and you just brush it on here with a fine brush and then let it set up, and that just depends on how the temperature and humidity is. And a lot of times these decorative elements are really loose and there's a lot of brittleness to them and they'll fall off, and so you have to get those kind of glued back on first, and a lot of times they'll be missing parts that you have to replace. But it's just really a matter of just going over it thoroughly, making sure it's all covered. So that's about all there is to that part. And so then this will just dry over probably an hour's time, and then it'll be ready to gild. And I've already done this section here, and it should be about ready. I put it on about an hour ago. So we'll start putting gold on there. So gold comes in these packages, called a pack or a book, and they're basically just these fine red pieces of paper that have what's called rouge in it, and it keeps the gold from sticking to the paper. This is almost pure gold, almost 24 karat. The way we do this is called a Gilders Pad, and it's basically just a chamois leather with a powder on it that keeps the gold from sticking to it. This is a gilder's knife. It's just a really smooth knife used to cut the gold and also to grab it and put it different places. And what I'm going to do now is open up this book. Hopefully the gilding gods will be smiling on me. This is kind of a fussy operation. I just place the knife under the gold, lift it up, and I'll unroll it here on the pad. I'll blow on it to kind of straighten it up, and if I blow it right, it's going to flatten out. If I don't, it's just going to go up in the air. I'm going to cut the gold with this knife. We'll just cut it in half this time. And this is called a gilder's tip. It's a fine animal hair brush, and you put oil on it from your skin. You can use Vaseline too, but I like to do this. And it'll pick up oil from your skin, and it Kind of acts as an adhesive. Let's see if I got enough. That's how it does. It sticks to the brush. The nice thing about this is these are real flexible, so it can go around curved surfaces. And I'm just going to put it on the decorative parts. Like that. So then it's just a matter of covering this whole area and just overlapping the gold. Yeah, so on this column right here, where they water gilded, you can see these, they're called ley lines, and it's where the gold was laid down and where it overlaps. You know, the gold's going to be a little bit thicker, and as this gold kind of wears off, you'll see these lines. That's a good indication, you know, if you're trying to decide whether something was gilded or not. You look for those ley lines, and it kind of gives it kind of a neat character. Just bring it down. And what happens is you'll have a lot of excess gold, you know, where it overlaps, it's not going to stick, and so you kind of have gold floating around. So then what you do is you take another brush, it's called a mop, and you use this to tamp the gold down and just stick it in all the cracks and crevices. And all this gold is kind of loose, it'll just kind of go down into these cracks. So you're not really wasting gold, it all gets used up pretty much. So I've been working on this for the last couple of days, and I've got most of the gold, actually all the gold on right now, and it's looking pretty good. So the next part is this new gold's going to have a different color than the old patina, so what I need to do is use different colorants to give it a more aged look, and there's different ways of doing that, and I'll just show you a few of them. This is called Asphaltum, and it's actually like tar, and you just add mineral spirits to it to dilute it, and you can brush it on the gold, and it kind of gives it a darker look to it. You can use, and this is my preference if I can do it, it's a colored wax. It has a brown pigment in the wax, and it's just brushed on all the new gold with a brush and then wiped off as much as you want to kind of give it an aged look. The darker pigment goes into the cracks, which helps bring out the highlight of the gold. Some people use shellac or a varnish with color in it, and that's just brushed on. You can put several coats on depending on what color you want. So that's what I've just finished doing, and I think it's looking pretty good. Visually, you just want the old gold and the new gold to kind of visually look good together. I hope you've enjoyed seeing how this is done. I think it turned out really nice, and hopefully people can enjoy it in the future.